evening, guys. I'm a little tired. I don't know how long I'm going to stay in. I'm doing all right. All clogged up. Sinuses, whatever. I have no idea. Temperature is down. Temperature goes up. 30 degrees, 20 degrees, 50 degrees. Can't make up its mind. This is the time of the season. People get sick. I'll hand it over to Stu so he can hand it back to Anthony. This is KD8 RLA.
Well, I'm glad that turned out to be the atmospheric temperature. I thought you were talking about your temperature. You were talking about feeling stuffy and stuff, and then, man, this temperature. Well, very welcome, as far as I'm concerned. And I guess they're supposed to get a little rain, and they said we could even get some thunderstorms, but hey, that's okay too. With that, I'll turn it over to Anthony, and I'll let him turn it over to Bob SPA. This is W2TBQ.
N8 SDR.
Okay, Rick, you'll follow Bob SPA. Okay, Stu, W2TBQ, KD8 SPA. Bob, go ahead and take it.
Thanks, Anthony. This is KD8 SPA. Yeah, I just turned the radio on a second ago myself. I don't even know who's in here yet, but I'll turn it back over to you, Anthony, to turn to whoever.
You turned it back over to you, Anthony.
Yeah, I heard him there. Okay, Bob. Yeah, you're a little bit down tonight, but I still hear you there. Rick, it's your turn there. N8 SDR, KA8 EFR.
All right, Anthony. Hello, guys. Hello, Anthony, Bob, Stu, Phil, and Bob 2. Bob 2, I'm not sure if you got the amplifier running or not, or what antenna you're on, but you are down a little bit here tonight. But I copy you, so not a big problem. Hope everybody's doing good. See most of you guys, I think, at breakfast tomorrow. I should be able to make it. And just an FYI, tonight's HAMARC Silent Key Roundtable, KA4WRR Silent Key Roundtable, is streaming live on YouTube. So hop on over and take a look if you want to watch your signals and audio or whatever. So I'll hand it back to you, Anthony. And I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, I apologize. KA8 EFR, N8 SDR in the group.
Okay, before we turn it back over to Skip there, this is Anthony, KA8 EFR, and I'm running tonight the 10-meter HAMARC Roundtable, the KA4 WRA Silent Key. Do we have any more check-ins out there? Okay, I'll just tell everybody I did get my package this week. It came Tuesday. It was double boxed, and I barely was able to pick up the bigger box. That radio's got to be at least, that 940's got to at least be 40 pounds, and I have it out of the box right now. It'll go back into this basic box tomorrow. I'm going to take it with me, and Phil's going to do a little soldering for a couple mics for it there. And Phil, hopefully you can run it through the, the whatever it's supposed to do, okay? Because I was able to put on a dummy load there and just hit the send key, and on 40 meters it hits about 170 watts there in my dummy load there on my meter. So I'm a little pleased with that there. And also it goes all the way down below for the AM broadcast band, and whatever like that. But on 40 meters there, Rick, before I turn it back over to Skip, I got a question for you there. MOH there, does that bother you on 7.250? Because I got a carrier or something on it there on my 940 there. If I put it on AM, I get a nice signal out of it there, and it's 7.250. K8EFR.
Yes, that's correct. The fifth harmonic.
Well, then I'm here, way over here. Okay, we'll turn over back to Skip, KE8GKG. Skip, go ahead. How's your back?
Oh, I don't know. Some days it's better than others. Today wasn't one of the better days, but I don't know. I'm getting around. I'm walking and stuff. Went to the grocery store with Jan and pushed the cart around, and I guess I'm doing better than I was before the surgery, but I'm getting aggravated. I want it to get better. It's taking too long. I have a doctor's appointment on the 3rd, which is Monday, and hopefully I'll be starting physical therapy. They said I would right after that, so that's the plan. Rick, I wanted to get on the YouTube thing, but I don't know how to get to the channel. What do I have to do? Let me know that. And Phil, I'll wait till next time around, but I got a technical question for you. But I'll turn it on over to Phil now. KE8GKG, over to you, Phil.
Thank you, Skip. Okay, I guess I'll wait for the question next time around then. But good to hear everybody out there tonight. Yeah, Bob, your signal, Bob 2, your signal is down a little. It's normally higher than that. And Anthony, I think you said on 40 meters your radio was putting out 170 watts. That's not good. That's not good at all. That's a 100-watt radio. Either there's something wrong with your watt meter and it's reading high, or your radio's not adjusted to put out appropriate power, which could be hazardous to your transmitter. I try to keep it down. Don't necessarily talk softer, but if you have, if you can turn the power down through the menu, I would do that. That radio wasn't designed to do 170 watts safely. A lot of these radios will do a whole lot more than what they're rated for. That doesn't mean it's safe to do it. I'd hate to see it damage it. You just got the thing. Anyway, just a comment on that. And everybody sounds good tonight, though. Got a good copy on everybody. And Stu, I'm glad you figured out what was going on with the 2-meter radio Wednesday night. I'm not used to hearing nothing from you when you talk. You're not that close, but you're not that far away either, and you're usually in 2-meter suits you're used to pretty much full scale here. And I couldn't even tell you were out there, so I'm glad you found that problem. Anyway, I made a brisket tonight, and Kroger had whole briskets on sale for $1.99 a pound. I mean, it's not a nice tender, normally, cut of beef, but boy, I tell you what, done properly, that is an absolutely delicious piece of beef. And I've got a modified recipe here. I think I've told you before, I've made it before, but oh my gosh. We had some people in here tonight. Of course, Brian's been staying with us this week, most nights anyway. He stays here at his cousin's house since he's hunting this week, so he's off work. And he has gotten 4 deer in 4 days. He's allowed 6 if he keeps buying deer permits, but he is not going home empty-handed this time. He gave a deer to one of the deer to a friend of his cousin's, and he gave one to his cousin. The deer he got this morning was on his cousin's property, but his cousin is also hunting, so he hasn't gotten one yet, but he now has the one Brian gave him today, so he is definitely sharing the wealth. he is such a nice kid. I shouldn't call him a kid. Somebody that old shouldn't be called a kid, I suppose, but hey, when he's your own son, I guess he's always going to be your kid, right? Anyway, I'm yammering. I guess I ought to turn this thing over to Bob, KD8RLA. Go ahead and take it. This is WB8TCB in the group.
Thanks, Philip. I cannot hear anything at all from Bob SPA tonight. Usually I can barely hear his voice, but tonight I've got absolutely nothing. And Anthony, hopefully your radio's all right. Every time somebody says that they bought something at a Hamfest or a flea market or off of eBay, I keep thinking of Jack when he bought a tuner. And when he got it back home, it wasn't working, and Philip opened it up, and it was missing a whole bunch of parts and everything. But that's been Jack's luck. I bought a lot of stuff over eBay over the years, and I've been very, very lucky. But that was years ago. I got 4 Yaesu radios from eBay, the FT840 that we used in the station for contests and field day years ago, the FT990. This FT450 that I'm on, I got that. That was brand new in the box. I watch who I bought the stuff from. Most of the time, wives of silent keys who are selling the husband's stuff, or the husbands who've been told by the wives to get rid of their stuff. However, there's been so many stories of junk now. I haven't bought any radio equipment from eBay in years. I got 4 Yaesu radios, 3 desk mics, all of which worked good. They're still working okay. The 3 Midland Mobile 220 radios, beautiful radios, one of which is on our repeater. I got all of those off of eBay. I lucked out, but I don't think I'd take a chance on buying stuff from eBay anymore. Too much spam junk, I don't know. Let's see, November 30th. Right now, we're about a quarter of our members have already renewed early in November for 2019. So I've been keeping track of that, and that's good. And talk about backs and pushing shopping carts. When I go shopping with Joanne, I use a shopping cart to lean on because my back's been bothering me, and it's hard standing up, and I need something to lean on. So that's my use of the shopping cart. And I'm done blabbering here, and I'll send it over to Stu, W2TBQ. This is KD8RLA.
Okay, Bob. Thank you very much. And don't forget about those 10-meter Radio Shack units that you got there. I think you got 2 or 3 of them, which I used before I got my HF radio, which they worked very well. But actually, I wouldn't mind picking me up one just to have. It's an old faithful for a mobile. Anyway, I had it on the schedule for the Christmas party on December 11th, and they went and planned something at work. So they from 6 to 8 that night, and so I was going to go ahead and take care of that and then come over to the Christmas party. Well, they never sent a confirmation that they were going to do it, and they didn't send in any flyers to advertise. So I said, look, if I don't hear anything by Friday, the end of the week, I'm going to my Christmas party. So I didn't hear anything, and I told them I wasn't going to work since there was no confirmation. So I will now be there at the Christmas party. And actually Tammy was going to have to host everything until I got there, but it does look like now I can attend. So anyway, I worked that situation out the best I could. But the residents, they wanted to go look at the Christmas lights through Sharon Woods, and I said, well, that's something they could do any night anyway, so it's not like they had to make reservations for. So I made them change the date. And outside of that, I don't have anything else, so I'm going to turn it over to Bob, SPA. And good to hear everybody today. Skip, you are 20 over, but it sounds like it got a little crackle. And I don't know if anybody else hears it or not, but a little crackle in either the audio or somewhere. But with that, I'll turn it over to you, Bob. W2TBQ, over to you.
Thanks, Stu. This is KD8 SPA. I didn't have the amp turned. I had it turned on, but I had it on standby. But we just got home 5 minutes till 9, and we've been out working on salt spreaders all day today, and still got a couple more days of that. But a long day. So I'm going to hang in there a couple more rounds, and I'm ready to hit the sack. So I guess Rick, you're next. N8SDR, this KD8 SPA.
Okay, KD8 SPA, N8SDR. That's a little easier copy. Not that I had a problem copying you before, but it definitely helps a little bit. And Anthony, yes, 7250 is the fifth harmonic of WMOH. So if you're seeing that carrier there, that would be them. And you might... You're obviously quite a bit further away from them than I am. I mean, heck, if that tower falls, it's probably partially in my front yard. If take a look and see if you go to upper or lower sideband and go just a couple KCs either way of 7250 and see if you hear them in there. You'll probably hear them as well. If you're seeing the carrier there or hearing the carrier there, there's a good chance if you just go to sideband that you'll probably hear either the upper or lower side of their signal. So, yeah, that's AM 1450, Hamilton's trashy radio at its best. Somebody else asked me something. Oh, it was... Skip. You asked me something, Skip, and I don't remember what it was now. I know you were going to ask Phil something, too. Let's see. What was it real quick, Skip?
Oh, I was trying to find your live play channel, but I got it up. Looks like you're spotting on 20 meters right now, not 10. We're probably not too interesting on 10. It's just probably flat with a little bit of a spike on it. 20. You were on 20 and 40 there for a while, though. Looks like there's some stuff going on there. Anyway, KAGKG.
Oh, you must not be watching the live one then. There's one on 20. There's like 55 or 60 of them that are there. Look for the one that's live. It should be the latest one, but yeah, it's underneath. If you go to YouTube, it's just underneath my call. If you put my call sign in there, you'll come across the page. But you should find it. There's one in there. You should find it with us here on 28410. So click around. It's in there. It should say live on it, actually, I think. But, well. Yeah, Anthony, according to what Phil said, our agreement with what Phil said, something's obviously wrong or being misread. I don't know if it's a scale issue that's being misread, or if somebody's perhaps had, the magical golden screwdriver in the thing and adjusted something that they should not be adjusting. I can't remember which finals are in that thing, Phil, but I'm surprised that it hasn't already popped them at 170 watts, because I can't think that they would take probably much more than 130, 140 max before they'd start having an issue. At 170 seems like it's awfully high out of that, and if it hasn't blown that package yet, it's probably not going to be too far off. Good advice. Turn it down till you find out what's really going on with it, because something's not right. Hopefully it's just a meter misreading, or somebody's uncalibrated the output meter, and it is still making 100 watts, 110, 15 watts, which I think is pretty much average of what those radios used to make. They were a little bit over 100 on some of the bands. So with that, I guess it goes over to let's see, was I the last one to check in? I guess I was. I guess it goes back to you, Anthony, KA8EFR, N8SDR. Sorry.
Okay, Rick, N8SDR, KA8EFR. Before I get in here, do we have any more check-ins here on the HAMARC silent key 10-meter go-around?
KD8WXP.
Okay, Wayne, how are you there? You'll follow Rick, all right, N8SDR?
I'll try not to mislead you.
I'm doing well, as far as I know, anyway.
Okay, fine and dandy. Yeah, okay, well, it was only the one band that was, well, let's put it this way. Let's start first, the first subject, WMOH. If I went to lower sideband, I did hear that. And then if I went to upper sideband, it was gone for some reason. Maybe I didn't tune it right. But that was the first thing I checked when I hooked it up yesterday to the long wire antenna. I figured, let me see. I had the AM broadcast band, and WWL is banging the meter all the way over. So I went up further, and there it was at 7.250. I go, oh, gee, MOH here. And I'm a lot further away, so I know, now I have really an idea now how bad you're getting it over there, since, if the tower falls, it hits your house. Rick, yeah, you got a problem there. Anyway, that was just the one band. I fired it up in a dummy load, just on each band. I hit the send switch, and it was about 140 on 10 and 12 and all the other bands there. It even transmits on 11 meters, so someone did get in it. Okay, I'll just say that already. But I did that only on a dummy load there. So anyway, we'll let this go, and I'll turn it back over to Skip, KE8GKG, KA8EFR.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. Rick, I'm trying to find you. I guess I have to subscribe to your channel to get it. Everything I found was old. But anyway, I'm trying to do that, but I can't talk and type at the same time. Hey, I wanted to give you a report on the computer. I kind of rearranged my station. I got everything on a rack now next to the desk, and moved the monitor up on the desk where my microphone is. But anyway, the computer, though, tonight, the other one, whenever I'd run on 10 meters, I'd have to turn it off because it made so much noise. This thing is dead quiet. It doesn't do anything to interfere with 10 meters, so that's a good thing. So I'm really pleased with it. So I'm trying to subscribe to your account, and then maybe I can find your YouTube video that's streaming tonight. Phil, what I wanted to ask you was, today I've been working here in the station. I said I moved all my equipment around, put it on a rack, and I was going to try to take care of my ungrounded ground situation. Before I had my surgery, I bought a 50-foot piece of RG8, and I was intending to do that thing where you solder the shield and the center conductor together and connect it to the ground post, and then put a capacitor up here at the upper end. And then I got on the internet because I was trying to figure out how I figured out what size capacitor I needed. And there's a whole bunch of electrical engineers and stuff saying that doesn't work. All it does is the capacitor couples the RF to the shield, and it really doesn't do anything. So I'm kind of confused whether it's worth trying this or not. There's more opinions that it doesn't work than it does. So I'd like to hear you chime in on that. And Bob SPA, you came up about 3 or 4 units when you turned your amplifier on, so you sound great. A lot better than before. And somebody said I had clicking. I don't know what that is unless it's something to do with I was playing around with my equalizer settings and stuff, trying to get my mic set the way it's supposed to be. I found the stuff on Heil's site, and I've set it according to that, but it's not for this particular microphone. It's for some of their newer ones. This thing's one of the old classic pros, the one that I have, and it's not really listed there. So I sent Bob Heil an email. I'm sure he'll get back with me with something if I have to change something. But anyway, that's about all I got for now. I'll turn it over to you, Phil. KEAGKG.
Okay, thank you, Skip. Okay. Boy, that's a pile of stuff. Okay, first things first. Are you sitting right in front of your computer? I'm going to give you a URL to type in to watch the live streaming, okay?
Yeah, give it to me, Phil.
Okay, now you probably already have a lot of this already up in the address bar. You type in the URL, https://www.youtube.com/. Are we okay so far? Hope you didn't clear that dialog box. Most of what you needed was already in there.
I wonder if he took himself off frequency.
I don't know.
No, I just can't type and talk at the same time. I'm kind of one of those people.
I figured I'd have to change the suffix on the URL, and he'd be watching your live streaming. By the way, I can't watch it with my laptop. I found most XP computers don't seem to like HTML5 video for some reason. I get a gray screen with some snow on it, and a bar slowly moving down the screen and whatever. So I'm just looking at video, but it's not playing it right. So obviously my XP installation isn't liking the HTML5. Are you still with us, Skip?
Yeah, I'm at www.youtube.com/. What goes after that?
No, not backslash, slash. You know, the divide symbol, not a backslash. If you have a backslash on there, make it a /. The top should be to the right, and the bottom should be to the left.
Okay, my bad. It's a /.
Okay, right after the /, it's watch, ? V as in Victor. More to come.
You could have just sent him an email link.
Watch ? V, and then what?
Yeah. thinking the same thing, Rick. I should have just emailed it to it. Okay. After watch $V, you have the equal sign, and then a capital C, a capital X, a lowercase b, a lowercase u, lowercase n, another lowercase n, lowercase z, uppercase Z, uppercase W, uppercase X, uppercase A. If you're not looking at his video, read back to me what you have.
Phil, I just wrote that all down on a piece of paper. I'll try it, and we'll see if it works by the next go round.
Make sure you hit the enter key after you type that in there.
Right. I bet he knows that. Okay. I'm going to let you go ahead and type that in there and answer your other question. Okay. Ground problems are some of the squirreliest things out there. What works for one person will not work for another sometimes. Very, very common. So if someone finds that it doesn't work for them, a lot of people want to share that information and say, oh, that's just bogus stuff. Well, not necessarily. It actually does work for some people. It will not work for everyone. You know, those old sayings, you can make some of the people happy some of the time. Well, this is one of those situations. It will work in some installations. Some people say, oh, this is the way you do your grounding. And some people do that and find out they have ground loops and all kinds of other problems, and they're getting into things that aren't even supposed to be playing audio and goofy crap like that. So that kind of stuff happens. There is no, everybody's environment is a little different, sometimes a lot different. So what works for one person just is not going to work for another person. The best way to find out is try it. You've already bought the coax, not a problem. It's a good start. Okay. I think you were wondering what size capacitor to put on there. Now, I'm doing this from memory, so please don't etch it in marble or something. I believe it was a 0.01 microfarad capacitor, but you need to have a reasonable voltage rating on that capacitor. Now, you're not hooking it up to the output connector on your amplifier or anything like that. It's ground. The whole idea is to try to make, and maybe I should emphasize the keyword try there, you're trying to make your ground looks like it's a whole lot closer to your station than it actually is. So that's the purpose of doing it that way. The coax, if you just use a piece of coax and you tie both ends, you tie the center conductor to the shield at both ends or whatever, then the whole thing becomes an inductor. And that's not going to work. I mean, that can actually keep some of the RF from actually seeing any reasonable ground, especially up at the upper frequencies like 10 meters, 6 meters especially. May not even work too well for 20 meters. But by tying the center conductor and the shield together at the ground end, and then putting a capacitor at the top end, the whole idea is you're trying to make it look like the ground stake is closer to your shack. And it really does help. It actually does work out mathematically. However, there's more coming into play than you can take into account mathematically because there's just too many variables. Every installation is different. So there's no absolute to this. The best thing to do is go ahead and try it. And if it helps, great. You lucked out. If it doesn't, well, the coax is still usable for other stuff. I mean, RG8, my gosh, that's good usable coax. So no harm done. And speaking of which, you're not going to hurt anything doing this either. The whole idea is trying to keep RF off your cabinets there on your station so you don't get burned again. I know that had to be uncomfortable. I've had an RF burn before, more than once. It's not fun. It takes a long time to heal. And since the first thing it does is remove all of the moisture right out of your skin, it's not something that just goes away after an hour. It can take days and days. So, yeah, go ahead and try it. Yeah, I understand that you got a lot of negative reports and some positive reports, and I hope you understand now why. The people who think it doesn't work are more likely to express that than people for whom it does work. You know, you fix something for somebody, for people for a living. How many people call you and say, hey, it's working? No. They go and use it and they're happy. They don't call you and say, hey, it's working, because that's what they paid you for. So you're not going to hear about that. This is one of those situations. You're not going to hear about all the people for whom it worked, but you are going to hear from people for whom it did not work. That's just life. So, yeah, go ahead and try it. It just might help. I know it was bad the day Rick and I were there, and Rick got zapped. I didn't, but he did. He got a bad one. I know you said it. You felt it tickle you. Well, maybe. And maybe your body's different than his, which is different from mine, and that's the reason I didn't get zapped. He got zapped badly, and you got tickled. So I am yammering here. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if I answered all the questions or not, but I hope I answered the ones that were important. Anyway, if I missed something, somebody say something on the next go around. Okay, let me get back to the roundtable here. I guess it's Bob 2's. Bob 1's turn. KD8RLA to get it. This is WB8TCB. Boy, it's good. The good thing it's wasn't a repeater. I'd have timed it out an hour ago.
All right, I'm here. Well, my XP laptop, which I use for the internet and emails, does not like the HTML5 video stuff too. So when you started repeating all of the letters on that URL, I stopped after 3 or 4. Anyway, that takes care of that. I can now hear Bob SPA faintly as usual, but at least I can hear him, and he's pretty much intelligible most of the time. Yeah, Stu, well, good that event changed. I will be there early with the box of all of the plates and picnic supplies and junk and stuff. I'll probably start that food list this weekend, get an email out in advance, see who's coming, what foods they're bringing, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I forgot about the realistic HTX 100 radios that I got on eBay. One of them went kaput. It is a parts radio that we're keeping. I'm pretty sure there's 1 or 2 others. It might be quite a while ago. I don't know. If I remember, Wayne... was it Wayne who borrowed one for a while temporarily and said there was something wrong with the volume switch? Was that you, Wayne?
No, wasn't me.
Okay, well, I forgot who it was. Anyway, there's 3 of them in stock in the station building. I haven't seen any lately on eBay. You know, 10 meters is kind of kaput right now with the solar cycle. If they pop up, it might be a good buy, cheap at this time. They were going like hotcakes. 4 or 5 years ago. Anyway, all right, that takes care of that. All right, I checked the Liberty Township site. Nothing added to any of the agendas. I also checked Butler County court records to see if these jerks are gonna go ahead with a court case. Nothing there. We haven't heard from Anthony, so apparently he hasn't heard from them, which makes me wonder what they're pulling, at the township. Maybe pretending that, this thing will go away. I don't know. Hopefully they're not doing this intentionally to say they never got a zoning certificate, never got a check, and I don't know. Anyway, that's it right now on my notes. I'll pass it over to Stu, W2TBQ. This is KD8RLA.
Okay, Bob. Well, thank you very much. And I was just looking at some news here, and looks like Alaska got a bad earthquake. Took out some roads and bridges, and had several aftershocks. So I'm going to listen to that report here as soon as we get done our roundtable here. Looks like most of it was in the Anchorage area, which we were only in. We went to Juneau and Ketchikan, Sitka, but we didn't get far up into Anchorage or Fairbanks. And hope there's not too much devastation, but I guess it took out some roads and windows, which is understandable. Anyway, with that, I don't have anything else, so I will turn it over to Bob SPA. This is W2TBQ.
KD8 SPA, you still there?
KD8 SPA, I dropped my foot pedal, or I kicked it around underneath the chair accidentally. As far as I saw or heard on the radio on the way home that it was like 7.2 or something. I didn't hear how much damage it was, but I rode the bike up to Alaska a couple of times, and last time I was up there, I rode down all the way down to Homer, which is like in the southwest, and then all the way up to Arctic Circle there on the western side of Alaska. And the roads are pretty rough up there. Without the earthquakes, you don't even need earthquakes to make those roads fall apart. But I would imagine there's considerable damage if 7.2 or whatever they said with the aftershocks. My sister lives near Wasilla, which is just a little north of Anchorage, and I got another friend, and Phil may know these guys. I don't know. Phil, did you know the Baker family? There was Marvin Baker, and he lives in Alaska up there by Wasilla. And Herman Baker had a trucking company over there on Bunker Hill Woods Road. So I don't even know if you knew those guys or not. But I ran into, by accident, I went into a Fred Meyer's grocery store in Wasilla, Alaska, and I saw a guy wearing a Watson Gravel t-shirt standing in line to get his check cashed at the bank inside the grocery store. So I went up and talked to him and asked him how he got the shirt, and by golly, it was Marvin Baker from Wood Station, Ohio. Small world, but he had moved up there 30 years ago and did construction work, pipeline work, stuff like that in that area. So Well, that's all I got at this time. I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, Rick, N8SDR to KD8SPA.
Okie dokie, Bob. KD8SPA, N8SDR in the group. Good deal. And Skip, just a little more info on that coax capacitor ground ordeal. Like Phil said, the only way you'll know is if you try it, and it'll either work or not work. One thing to kind of keep in the back of your head when I was looking at doing that stuff is it may not matter, but I would try to I think the capacitor rating, if I remember correctly, was 0.001 to 0.1 microfarad at a kilovolt or more. Does that, real quick, Phil, does that sound right?
Yes, sir, it does.
Yeah, okay. So that's what you want to look for. Make sure that the voltage rating is high enough. Otherwise, it'll be useless for you, and the first time you run across actually any power into it, and well, actually you won't have power into it, but it will radiate and it'll just explode the cap. So make sure you got enough to to compensate for it. And the end that gets shorted together is the end that goes at the ground, the ground rod connection side. You want to short the shield in the center there, and then somewhere, a few feet away from the connection to the radio, at the end of the coax, you want to put that capacitor across the shield and the center of your coax, and then obviously the center of the coax goes to all your grounding, and your ground bus. So the shorted side of the coax goes to the ground rod, though. I don't know if you remember doing that, or I know at one point in time you asked about it, and we were trying to remember which side it was, but it is the ground rod side that gets shorted out. And there was something else I was going to tell you could try, and that is the variable lengths of just wire. Cut something at like 8 foot 3 inches for 10 meters, 16 foot for 2 meters, 20 meters. Basically, what you want to do is make it a quarter wavelength on each one of the bands that you're going to use. And if you tie those all together, you can tape them up and lay them on the floor or whatever. But that'll actually act as a RF ground radio, and sometimes that'll help with that RF issue as well. I did that up here for several weeks. I guess maybe it might have been a couple months actually before I ended up using the artificial ground, and that seemed to eliminate almost all of it. Every once in a while, though, like I hear it in Tammy's computer speakers right now, but that's typical of computer speakers. They're cheap. And there's no shielding on them. I mean, heck, the bookshelf speakers on the Flex are sitting 8 inches away from the amplifier, and I'm not getting anything through them. So it just goes to show that computer speakers are cheap, and there's just not any shielding going on them. But hopefully you'll get that going. Phil, I was gonna mention Joe's friend, John Camella, N8AA. I talked to him today. I went down his house. He got that 6600 a while back and never could get it to work with M1MM, and had some other issues going on with it. And he called me the other day. He had his 7300 hooked up to it, and to M1MM, and things stopped working on it. So I went down there and got that working again. And I said, "What are you not hooking the Flex up?" And he's like, "I just never could get it to work with that." So I said, "You still got it?" And he's like, "Yeah." So he pulled his 6600 out, popped it on the table, and in, I don't know, 4 minutes I had that all hooked up and working for him. So the 6600 has replaced the 7300 now, and I think he's happier with that. He just as a kind of a short note, he's got a hex beam, the K4 KIO, I think, if I'm remembering the call sign correctly. He's going to try to put up on Sunday afternoon, and it's not up very high. It's just on a post in the backyard. So I'm going to try to run over there with him on Sunday and help put that up. So I don't know if anybody else is around that wants to run over, but if there is anybody, let me know, and I'll add you to a little email list when I find out and get a hold of you and let you know. It's just over in Fairfield. But he's a super nice guy. I think you've met him before, Phil, I think, if I remember correctly. And also, he was going to try to come out to the club the other night when we did the technical presentation. He has a couple videos and is willing to actually come out and do two separate things. One is the VHF terrain overlays with, showing you how takeoff angles work for the surrounding terrain around here. He's got a lot of really good information for that, and he's also got a lot of good stuff for some of the expeditions. So he said let him know, and he'd be more than happy to do either one of those or both of those for the club. So I just need to find out from you guys if it's something you guys would be interested in seeing. He's a really good guy. And with that, I guess now I'm rambling on. Back to you, Anthony, KA8 EFR N8SDR.
It goes to Wayne, but before we send it to Wayne, Skip, are you still listening?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What Rick said about the remote ground is right, except the capacitor does not go at the ground stake end. It's got to be up at the top. By the station, not down by the ground stake.
Isn't that what I said up by the radio?
I know how to do it. I got to find a capacitor, but I get a capacitor, I can get it hooked up.
Okay. Go ahead, Wayne. It's all yours. WBTCB.
Thank you, gentlemen. One thing, hey Rick, I've got your live streaming up anyway. You're a little delayed on me, but wave at some point and I'll see how long it is. How's my radio sounding tonight? I'm running on the desk mic instead of the hand mic. Maybe I've got it working this time. Yeah, include me on that email. I'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll be able to come over. And on that one, I will send it back over to Anthony. It's,
Okay, Wayne.
There's somebody else in there.
Pete, give a message there to Ann. I didn't realize there's different types of blue moon. I got the Belgium white, so hopefully that's the one she likes. If not, I'll have to get the other one.
Hey, guys, hold on a second.
that's the right one.
Okay.
Hold on a second, Anthony. Was there another station in there as well?
I think that's your delay feeding through my system.
Okay. All right, because I thought I saw another signal before you actually keyed up.
I did hear something.
All right, well, just kind of listen around, guys. I think there might be somebody else in there, but I'm not positive.
Well, if you have any other check-ins here on the Friday night HAMARC Roundtable, come on in.
I'm not hearing anything now, Anthony.
Yeah, I saw it. It was like an S3.
Yeah, just drag your feet between handing it over with each other, and we'll see if they pop back in there. Whose go is it?
Okay, Okay, I'll take it here. I just put the 940 back in a box, and I believe that thing has to weigh over 40 pounds, because felt it in the lower back here. I won't be doing that too much. Once it's out of the box for good, it'll stay out of the box. Okay, so I'm getting that packed up, ready to go for tomorrow. Anyway, that's about all I have right now. I had the long wire hooked up to it there, and I was playing with that as you guys were talking, that's SSD slope, and I got the high going one way, and I got the low going the other way, and I can make everybody sound different if I like to on that. So I was playing with that a little bit there. So anyway, Phil, on the long wire, you give me over a 9, okay, on that meter there, on that radio there. So I'll just let you know there, you're a lot louder. Okay, again, I had to play with the slope to make it sound different. Then when Wayne got in there, I had to make it sound a little bit different again there. So whatever, I'll have to get used to that. Look for a happy medium. Okay, with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Skip here, KE8GKG, KA8EFR.
Okay, so I gave up on the live stream. I think I got in there, but it says, I don't know, page isn't available. I must have typed something wrong. But I'm not going to hang in here much longer anyway, so it really don't matter. Anyway, yeah, I read all that same stuff about the quarter wavelength radials and all that. That's another way to do it, I guess. I think I'll try the coax thing first to see what happens. I haven't had too much trouble up here for a while. I don't know. That's a funny thing, I guess. This loop antenna, anyway, it seems to tune up. I've only had that trouble on the high frequencies on 10, and if I tried to tune up on 6 or something on that long antenna. But this loop thing, I haven't had that issue, so maybe not getting what do they call it, common mode currents back into the station or whatever. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to be at breakfast tomorrow, so sounds like we're going to have a pretty big crowd. I think Janet's coming too. It's supposed to be sunny on Sunday and about 60, and I've never gotten the tarp on my boat, so I've recruited some guys to come over and help me cover my boat up. So I got to go over to Brookville, so I can't help with the antenna, but it's more important to get that done right now. We've had a rodeo here at the farm this week. The cows got out. We got into cows up in the front, and we got a bunch of bull calves that we're raising back in the back. And we had pretty good distance between them. Nobody could smell like anybody, but the cows got across the electric fence and got down next to the bulls, and then the bulls got out and got in with the cows, and that's the way they still are right now. But I think they're all bred, so I don't really care. They should be all bred by now. I didn't want sons and breeding their moms back and that kind of stuff. So I got to get those bulls sold. We've been advertising them, but we get a lot of calls, but nobody seems to come look at them. Anyway, that's what's been going on. So I had to get out and help Jana chase cows, and I just kind of had to run a little bit. Well, that didn't do me any good at all. But I just had to come in and rest, and I was all right after that. But I go back to the doctor to get x-rayed. Hopefully I'm starting to fuse. That's what I want to see. But and physical therapy starting next week, I think. So that's about all I got. KAGKG. Over to you, Phil.
Hey, Skip.
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't heard that crackling noise on you. Just as an FYI, but I was kind of curious. When they do the inbreeding stuff there, is that how that mad cow disease gets started, or is that actually just what they refer to as Kentucky meat?
I don't know. I just know you don't want to do it. When you raise sons out of a cow, you want to sell them. You don't want to keep them to breed your cows back to. I don't know what it does, to tell you the truth. I just know it's not a good thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
Okay. Yeah, that's way too narrow a gene pool. You don't want the son breeding back the cow. That's oh gosh. Yeah, actually, you can end up with compromised immune systems. Usually doesn't happen first generation, but it will. I mean, it is not good. You don't need livestock that with compromised immune systems. It just creates. Well, you know the problems it creates. What the heck? Nobody needs those kinds of problems if they're trying to raise livestock. Anyway, okay. Shoot. Oh, there's something I was going to say. I liked something that Rick said, and I forgot what it was now. Real quick, Rick. Did you say that? Now, who got rid of his ICOM 7300 in favor of the 6600?
N8AA. He still has a 7300, but he pulled it off the table and put the 6600 back up after I got it all hooked up for him and got it to work.
Oh, okay. N8AA. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what an improvement! My gosh, I wouldn't be a little bit surprised if he puts the 7300 up for sale once he gets used to using the 6600. Those are nice radios. Flex radios are nice radios. They, man, the advantages are just phenomenal. It's just a different way of operating, and there's a learning curve that goes along with it. I'm glad you were available to help him out with that. It's a lot of money to spend and then not think you're happy with something that's actually that nice. So I appreciate you being there for him. Shoot, I forget what else I was going for, but it's after 10 o'clock, and I am so tired. This has been a long, hard day for me. I did take the finish mower off the tractor today. It doesn't look like I'm going to get an opportunity to do any more mowing this year. It just keeps raining. I think tomorrow we're supposed to get like over 3/4 of an inch of rain and garbage like that. I mean, we're not getting enough sunshine to make the grass grow properly, so there's really not much I can do with it anyway. I did pull the truck out of the barn to take the finish mower off the tractor and put the grader blade on it for plowing snow. And then when I tried to back into the barn, I had little trouble trying to get some traction and up spinning the wheels a little bit. Did not want to do that because it just skins all the grass off back there in that spot. Both spots. That truck does not have limited slip differential, but it spun both wheels anyway. So I guess it was slippery enough back there that it thought both wheels were turning, and I don't know. It didn't do there's a couple of patches back there where it didn't do the yard any favors. It didn't dig a hole, thank goodness. It did go right back into the barn, but was not happy going uphill backwards. He'd rather spin the wheels, so I'm glad the truck's back in the barn and the tractor now has the grader blade on it. Okay, I guess that's about all for me. I want to make this my last one, and I think I'm going to relax for a while, see what Diana's doing, and then take a shower and get to bed, get some sleep before I have to get up at 6 o'clock and be at breakfast by 7. So, anyway, you guys all take care. Good hearing everybody out there, and if I didn't answer somebody's question, I'm sorry. I obviously forgot. I would not ignore you. It sure is nice hearing everybody out here. And Bob, too, glad you got your amplifier turned on. I mean, you had it turned on, but in the operating mode. You know, it works better in the operating mode. Okay, I'm out of here, guys. You guys take care. This is WBATCB. I will be clearing QRT, passing it over to Bob 1.
Night, Phil.
Night, Phil.
Good night, Phil.
Good night, Phil.
Night, Phil.
All right, real quick here. I would assume that breeding would end up with stupid cows. I don't even know if there's anything called incest repellent. Okay, what do I got? Breakfast, I'll be there, but I'll need a ride home because Joanne's got to work. That Yaesu FT990 radio we use in the station, my radio, that is also very, very heavy, Anthony. And, of course, that's why they used to call those old heavy radios boat anchors. Glenn Wolf, who visited us at our meeting with Rick's presentation, he did pass his technician license at Dial a couple of days after that. I emailed him congratulating him, and I haven't heard anything from him. Let's see, what else I got here? Yeah, as far as presentations go, our next highest requested presentation is for information about digital modes and equipment and setting up for digital. I do have a couple of videos downloaded that can be used, but that probably by member request probably should be our next presentation, but I guess we can decide. I don't have anything else here, and I'm going to call it a night. Joanne just came up here. I think she's got to talk about something. So this is KD8 RLA.
Night, Bob, and yeah, we probably need to discuss that and see if, just real quick, if we want to do it by the videos that you found, or if we want to do maybe some hands-on stuff. I'm open to do the hands-on stuff, and I think Phil would probably be interested in doing some of that too.
Well, I've got a signal link here set up for one of the Yaesu radios, so that could be a hands-on thing if we want to go that route. I know your Flex does the digital, but then you'd have to bring that thing and set it up again. So, yeah, I guess at the Christmas party we can probably talk about it.
Sounds like a plan.
Good night, Bob.
Good night, Bob.
Night, Bob.
Night, Bob.
Night, John Boy.
Good night, Bob. And I guess with that, that's my turn.
Yes, Stu.
Okay. Well, first thing is Bob SPA. That is amazing that you drove to Alaska, number one, on a motorcycle, but number two, running into that guy from back here in the grocery store. That is absolutely amazing. I mean, that's happened to me a few times, but, running into somebody at the airport who's, coming back to Cincinnati or something like that. But anyway, that's really neat. And Rick, if you need any help with that job, helping that guy with the antenna, we're usually done lunch at around about 2:30 or so, so I could give you a hand after that. Let me know, and be happy to help, as long as I don't have to take my mother-in-law back to the center and get one of the kids to do it or something, but in College Hill. But let me know, because I really could take her back anytime, even if I have to do it. And with that, I will turn it over to Bob SPA. This is W2TBQ.
Don't go nowhere, Stu.
Yeah, thanks, Stu. Hey, I vote for the hands-on thing too. Oh, and before I forget, my operation is on January 21st, so I will probably be here most of the winter. Sorry to say, might run down to Florida for a week or so and check on the place down there, make sure everything's okay. But other than that, I'm going to be up here from the 15th of January for a pre-op all the way till I don't know when, but the operation will be on the 21st of January. And that's about all I got, but I'm going to listen through, so I'll still be here. And I'll pass it on to you, Nick, NSPO. This KD8 SPA.
All right, SPA, is that for the hands or the neck?
The neck.
Okay. All right. Well, make sure that we all stay posted somehow, if you don't mind. And are you well, being you'll be staying up here, I guess you're having that done. You having that done locally here in Cincinnati, or are you not going to what was it, Virginia or West Virginia?
Yeah, right. I'm gonna have it done. It'll get done down at the university base down in Cincinnati.
Okay. All right. I'll make sure we keep tabs on that, and let Ellen know if needs any help of carting you around down there or slamming you into doors or whatever after you're done, on your way back out, to let me know, and I'll be glad to help her out with that.
Yeah, I'm sure she's planned a lot of that out already.
Okay, yeah, she probably doesn't need much more advice on it. All right. Hey, Stu, Sunday, or last Saturday, I'm sorry, I was sitting up here in the shack, and I thought, well, Stu will be by any minute. Stu will be by in any hour. Stu will be by in a couple minutes now. I'll hear the doorbell ring. So come about 3 o'clock or 3:15, I walked outside to go pick up my wife to take her to work, and lo and behold, the tower sections are laying in my side yard. Dude, I wish you'd have said something, man. I'd have run out and helped you got them out of the truck, and I really do appreciate you picking those up and dropping them off, Stu. That helps out a lot, and I just wanted to thank you for that.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I didn't want to bother you, and they were nothing, like carrying a suitcase. So, yeah, it was no big deal at all. And I'm glad I could do that for you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Those things are in pretty good shape.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they're brand new. There wasn't a rough spot on them.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully, Bob, I got the sections of the towers. I've actually got the base section that's going to go in the ground. So after you get all healed up in January, hopefully, end of February, well, I would say maybe the end of March or so, mid-March, I'll probably be looking at digging that hole. So if you're still interested in doing it with the backhoe, let me know.
Yeah, I'll just let me know for sure, because they won't be using it much. It'll be too wet for them to do a lot of stuff, unless we have a dry winter. But yeah, I can get it and bring it over, and we can dig that hole.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. All right, I think that's all for me. I'll turn it back over to Anthony and Wayne. I'll turn it over to Wayne. I'm sorry, Wayne. Did you ever get your hi message? And did you see the little sign that I held up for you?
I must have been looking away when you did it.
Well, here, I'll do it again. Hold on. I guess you haven't seen it yet.
Nope, I haven't seen it yet.
All right, well, I'm going to turn it over to you, and sometime during your QSO, it should pop up, so just let me know. Hopefully you can read it. I don't think it's whitening out the camera too much. All right, so over to you, Wayne, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at breakfast, whoever's going, and the ones that aren't, I'll catch you guys tomorrow night. N8 SDR.
N8 SDR, KD8 WXP. Yeah, I'm still watching. I don't see it yet. If it pops up, I'll key up and let you know if I'm not on here. And with that, I'm probably going to cut out too. I'm just I jumped in here late and wanted to say hey to everybody. And on that, I will let it go back to Anthony.
Hey, Wayne, I forgot to mention, you said something about being on the desk mic. It sounds good to me.
Good. He told me to turn the mic gain way, way up on it, and I guess that made a big difference for it.
Yeah, you're driving the radio now, so you're making some power.
Sounds like a DJ.
Sound really good out here in Darttown.
Well, good. At least I didn't waste my money on all that, huh?
Nah, you got it set good, bud.
I think he sounds like those guys in the morning on WMOH with that reverb in the background.
Nah, he sounds better than those guys, and his signal's a hell of a lot cleaner.
I don't know how that station, everything is in that reverb. They got to be in that processor that they're having before it hits the transmitter. Whatever. Yeah, Wayne, you sound great. It does sound different and loud and clear. You're picking over a 9 over here, so I know you're not aimed at me here. So, but anyway, that's that there. So, Wayne, have a good night too. KA8 EFR. Okay, with that, do we have any more check-ins, late check-ins on the Friday night HAMARC silent key go-around? This is Anthony, KA8 EFR.
There you are, Rick. You finally showed up. I can't read it, but I can see it.
Yeah, that's a pretty long delay. Of course, it is processing audio and everything too. And I probably shouldn't be doing this. I'm processing audio, running the live stream, and I've got, of course, the Flex running, and I've got a couple. I've got more than a couple. I've got 7 web pages open. So, oops.
Well, I guess it's my turn. I don't know. I come after Anthony. I'll make this my last one too, guys. Rick, thanks for all the advice, and I know Phil's gone, but same to him. I'm been studying on my extra test and using that ham test online, and taking the exam. I don't know, last 4 nights, and got a 90% or better on all of them. So I think I'm ready to go to do the exam. So there's one coming up, I think, on the 5th in Blue Ash. So I'm going to go down and see if I can get my extra. But that's about all I got for tonight. Good to hear everybody in 73. And KEHGKG, I'm going to be clear.
Night, Skip. See you tomorrow.
Good night, Skip.
Good night, Skip.
I think it's you again, isn't it, Stu? I think everybody else is out.
Yeah, yeah, because I followed, I forget who I followed, Phil, I think, but anyway, no, Bob, Bob RLA, but no, anyway, I don't think I'm going to make it to breakfast tomorrow. Sounds like there'll be a good group anyway, but yeah, I kind of brought those tower sections over, after dinner, and I didn't want to. I figured you'd probably be busy, so and I just found a nice place alongside the carport there, and just set them down. There's no problem carrying them, and I don't know if Jason was home or not, but I just went in there stealth and got it done. So anyway, yeah, with that, we'll let you guys go. 73s to y'all, and we'll probably catch you on the Wednesday night chat or next Friday, and then of course hopefully see you all at the Christmas party. So with that, I'll turn it over to Bob SPA, and 73s to y'all, W2TBQ.
Good night, Stu. Yeah, I'm checking out too, so good night to everybody, and hopefully get in here tomorrow night. 7388 SPA.
Okay, say it again. Say good night.
Good night.
All right, Kyrie says good night, you guys.
Good night, Stu, and good night, Bob there, KA8EFR.
Good night.
Well, Rick, I guess it's just you and me.
Yep, I'm going to get out of here myself, get up tomorrow and get the breakfast. So thanks for running it again, Anthony, and I'll... Oh, okay. Hold on a second. My granddaughter's going to say something to you. Hold on. All right. Go ahead. Say hi, Anthony.
I'm going to get a bouncy house so I can jump because I really want it.
You're going to get... Oh, she wants me to get her a bouncy house. I think she wants one of those, inflatable bounce houses thing. She's been on me for the last couple days about that, so I guess I'll be going tomorrow to look at one of them.
Okay. I'm not sure if those can be used outside, this time of year, or unless you get a smaller one where we can go in the house there. I'm not familiar with toys, okay, because I don't have any children, so that's one kind of department I kind of stay out of and don't know too much about.
And because I really want to jump on it.
Yeah, I know you want to jump on it. I know. All right. Well, we'll figure it out tomorrow, so don't worry about it, okay?
You can jump on it.
Yeah, I know you can jump on it.
But
All right.
But you can't pump it.
Okay. All right. All right, so I'm getting lectured by her, so... All right, Anthony. I'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks for running it again, and I'll see you at breakfast. I think you're going in the morning, so if so, I'll see you there. If not, I'll talk to you tomorrow night. K8EFR, N8SDR.
Okay, Rick, yeah, you have a good night, and go play with your granddaughter. Okay? She sounds like she really knows what she wants. Okay, very knowledgeable about the subject there. N8SDR, K8EFR, and I'll be clear with the group.
See you, Anthony.
We made it clear. Don't pop it, Rick.
Yeah, I know. She's only 3 years old.
That's cute. Have a good night. W2TVQ clear.
Say good night, Stu. Say good night, Stu. Good night, Stu. I don't know if you heard her.
Yeah, I did. Good night. W2TVQ.